Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to the pod where we chat, argue, and wax poetic about the movies and shows that we love, hate, or that are simply worth talking about. All stories have something to say, and we love trying to analyze what they capture. Welcome to the Chatter After. My name is Mike. Today we are talking a little bit about Avatar, The Last Airbender. And this isn't a normal episode of the Chatter After. Usually it's 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 friends getting together talking about the stories that impact us, right? The stories that we love. And Avatar is certainly one of those stories. So that episode will probably happen in the future. Let us know in the comments section if you really want an episode, the Chatter After, dedicated to Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I will do it. But for now, I did have a wonderful opportunity to talk one-on-one with Michaela Jill Murphy, aka the voice of Toph Beifong, the greatest earthbender in the world, and the inventor of metal bending. So yeah, kind of a big deal. This was brought to you by HypeSpace, a fantastic app that you all should check out. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Avatar's impact on pop culture for the last 15 years, and its kind of renaissance over the last couple years, right? And the power that this story holds and the weight and gravity it holds for many of us, myself included. So yeah, Michaela and I had a brief conversation about all of those things, so make sure you guys like and subscribe so you guys won't miss any more episodes. And let us know in the comments, what are some of your favorite Toph moments? What are some of your favorite Avatar moments? But with that said, I'm done talking. Let's cue it up. My interview with Michaela Jill Murphy. Thank you for joining us, Michaela. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can't wait to get into the conversation. So as the audience already knows from the intro, you worked on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the Chatter After fans are in love with the show, like most of the planet. So I wanted to ask you, other shows from that era, right? This show came out in 2005, have kind of come and gone out of the pop culture zeitgeist. Why do you think Avatar resonates with people, especially adults, all these years later?
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's such a crazy thing that nobody could have expected. Kind of
Yeah,
the love for it never went away, but it definitely kind of grew and became more obvious in the last couple years. I think most people can agree that it's arguably one of the best written shows, period, not just animated. But the
right,
characters all have such a strong sense of kind of unique, I guess, perspective. They each have their strengths and very much their weaknesses, and we get to see those kind of play out very organically, and kind of watch them troubleshoot and problem solve and deal
yeah,
with emotions in real time. It's just a very relatable show. I feel like all of us have been in kind of all of those different emotional states. We can find bits of ourselves and kind of all the different characters in some sense. And, the story the story can be relatable to many different things in the world, and I
yeah,
think as people rewatch that as adults, especially if they're rewatching with their own kids, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's rewatch this show I used to see as a kid," they realize things they maybe didn't catch as much when they were younger, and now they can appreciate those things
for
as
sure.
adults. And I think that's why it's kind of gaining this traction because everybody's, "Oh, it's this kid show," and then everybody's like, "Oh no, no, this is an everybody show," and the older you get, the more you catch in one
Right,
sense. So I just attribute it to Mike and Brian's writing, and I think the fact that it is 3 seasons and that it was very much planned that way is kind of telling. They were like, "This is the story. This is what we want to tell." And we're done. And then they made Cora afterwards, of course, but they didn't,
right.
they didn't give in to the public being like, "Oh, like make season 4." They're like, "No, no, this is the story." And I think that kind of control, that intention with the story is what makes it so rich as well. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that control, right? Because I think that's really what makes it special. It's very concise. It doesn't overstay its
Very
welcome.
no.
And it allows all of these characters, like you said, to develop and really gain that traction with the audience to where they almost feel like family in a certain sense by the time you're done with
100%.
that journey. So, speaking of characters, Toph, you're very familiar with Toph Beifong, right?
Hopefully,
So,
hopefully we're familiar by this
right.
point.
I want to get your thoughts on Toph as a character because she's one of my favorites simply because she's able to take what we consider to be a weakness and really turn that to her biggest strength, her biggest quality. But also, not just Toph, but the female characters in Avatar really kind of break the gender norms that we're used to, especially in like action, shonen style anime or
100%.
inspired content. Did you realize how special Toph was as a character when you were working on it? And if not, how did your perspective change as you got older and kind of moved away from the character?
Yeah. No, I didn't really know at the time. I wasn't really aware. But I think that's also just telling of kind of how I don't know how well she was written. I
Yeah,
never stepped in and was like, "Oh, wow, she's tough for a girl." I just went like, "Ah, yeah, she's like a badass, and she's this great earthbender chick. Okay, cool, and she's super sassy. Yeah, that sounds up my alley."
yeah,
Um, so it wasn't a blatantly obvious thing. I also think I didn't grow up with too much TV. My
mm,
mom was more of the read the book first and then maybe we'll watch the movie type of mom. So I didn't really have too much influence. So in one sense, I guess that's kind of nice. I didn't have the
yeah,
expectation of like, oh yeah, all the girls are usually like hee hee. Um, and so as I've gotten older and as I started watching more things, especially in high school and college, I kind of realized how important she is in just the timeline, especially like you said, in kind of an action filled storyline and how powerful she is. And so many people have come up to me being like, she kind of inspired me to just be myself, to not feel apologetic for being more tough or wanting to be more stubborn or loud or, just powerful, I guess. So, yeah,
yeah.
unbeknownst to me, she was making waves. Yeah, because of that. So it's cool to kind of be a part of her impact for sure.
I think that's what makes, again, like we were talking a second ago, why it's so impactful and why this is one of those stories that 15 years later people can revisit or experience for the first time and instantly
Absolutely.
fall in love with it.
Yeah. Wild.
I do want to get into the show a little bit though. What are some of your like favorite moments or lines? Because again, Toph is a fan favorite, so you've got a lot to choose from as far
Yeah.
as iconic moments.
I mean, I love Tales of Ba Sing Se, and I love The Library. Those are definitely like my favorite episodes. And then line-wise, I mean, there are just so many. She has so many good one-liners. I love the little "Oh no, what a nightmare" moment. They're just such short little quips. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all of her reminders to the gang that she is indeed blind, yeah, are definitely my favorites.
And I suppose you don't think what you're doing is dangerous at all? No, I don't. Really? Yes, really. Well then, what's this? I don't know! I mean, seriously, what's with you people? I'm blind!
Those are definitely great YouTube compilations for
Oh
sure.
yes, they are.
So again, the Avatar fandom, at least from my experience, is one of the best and most passionate fan bases
Yeah,
to be a part of. Where I guess where can people interact with you? I know you've got a lot of conventions coming up in the next
yeah.
year. So are you going to be at like New York Comic Con next year or San Diego Comic Con?
Yeah, I was actually just at New York Comic Con a couple weeks ago, which was crazy, and it was so wild, but it was a lot of fun. I have 5 more coming up this year. I'm going to be in Texas,
Ooh,
in 2 different places. I'm going to be in like Woodlands in Dallas. I'm going to be in Vegas. I'm going to be in Indianapolis. I'm going to be in Pasadena. And that's all fine and dandy if you can make it out to one of those. Come say hi. But that's
right.
also another reason why I did partner with HypeSpace, which is another fun thing that we want to kind of talk about on here.
Yeah.
Because they a challenge based app where you can submit videos to challenges, and we just had like a bending challenge, so you can do martial arts or like throw some rocks around in your backyard, whatever your favorite bending style is, and just kind of participate in a fun challenge. Um, and win prizes. So I had like a signed book two poster and like some comics and stuff like that. So Hypespace is a great way if you can't make it out to one of these awesome anime conventions to participate or do both or come and say hi at a convention and also. connect on HypeSpace.
I saw the bending challenge, and that was really fun. I got a chance to download the app and see all of the great stuff that's happening there. Do you have any new challenges that you're going to have for the people listening at home?
Yeah. So the bending challenge was our first one
Yeah.
that we made, and then we're doing like a little flash challenge for Halloween week, I like to call it. And it's just to show your spooky spirit. It can be Avatar related or not. It can just be like a carved pumpkin, your costume, like some spooky makeup or nails, or anything that you just kind of do to get into Halloween spirit. And then coming up in November, we've got like a little scene challenge. So you can pick your favorite scene or moment from Avatar and kind of reenact it either with a friend or do like a monologue, something like that. So the Halloween challenge is live right now. And then coming up in November is going to be that next challenge. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, the thing I love about HypeSpace is that it is very interactive, right? It's not just like Twitter where you post a tweet, you may occasionally see a response or something there. It's very interactive with the audience, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really great, especially all of these challenges you have lined up for the fans. That should be a blast.
And it's also completely like positive and family friendly. The only engagement that you can do with any of the videos is clap on them, or you can do like a little thunderous applause. But there aren't like comments or downvotes or anything like that. So literally the only thing that can happen is positive reinforcement, which is great. very
Perfect.
Very encouraging in case somebody's maybe nervous to participate, or maybe they're like, I don't know if I like this video or if I want people to see it, but like literally the only thing that can happen to you is nice things. So that's also a positive attribute to the app for sure.
Yeah, it's not just HypeSpace, it's also a safe space, which is great.
It's a hype safe space.
Yeah, exactly. Was there anything else you wanted to let the audience know? I know we're going to have the app linked in the description, so you guys can just go straight to your app store and download it there. But was there anything you wanted to tell the audience before we call it a recording?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on all of the fun social media platforms, so feel free to connect. And when you download HypeSpace, use the referral code TwinkleToes. If you want to submit to the Halloween challenge this week or join next week, it's free to join, free to submit to challenges, and you can win prizes. So it's all very fun. And yeah, I hope to see you guys at a convention in person, and if not in person, then hopefully in a submission video on HypeSpace.
Sounds perfect. Again, thank you so much for your time, Michaela. It's been fun talking to you.
Yes, it's so nice to meet you guys. And keep your knees high, Twinkle Toes.
Special thanks to HypeSpace for making this video possible. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss any more episodes of The Chatter After. If you guys really enjoyed it, let us know in the comment section down below. What are some of your favorite Avatar moments? What are some of your favorite Toph moments specifically? Because she's an awesome character. And again, thanks to Michaela for joining us today. If you guys want to take The Chatter After with you on the go, we are wherever you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We are on all of the podcast platforms, so you don't have to miss a thing just because you can't watch the video feed. But if you guys really want to help support us, make sure you give us a rating on iTunes and Spotify. It really helps the channel grow, really helps the podcast grow. And kind of spread the word on The Chatter After and all the awesome content we do here. We will talk more Avatar in the future on youtube.com/noviceCinephile. If you guys want us to do an episode dedicated to Avatar and The Legend of Korra on The Chatter After, just let us know. Again, on Twitter, at The Chatter After, or at Novice Cinephile, or in the comments section down below. We'd love to hear from you. But yeah, that's everything for today. If you guys want to catch out our next episode, I think we did Werewolf by Night. And if we time this right, you can click it right in the thing. You can check that out for Halloween and for all of our upcoming coverage. Until next time, guys, as always, stay flaming. Peace. Keep your knees high, Twinkle Toes.